How you doing, people? I hope you are well and training like well-oiled Terminators, because if you train like a Terminator, you will not only get a tough body, you will get a tough mind, and that will help you with all sorts of stuff that life throws your way. Okay, that's the self-help talk for the day. What else is he barking on about? Well, today I've got quite a nice little tip that I think works for the burpees. Now, a lot of people do the burpees for the natural gains that it gives you, strength, fitness, etc. But people as well do like to chase the numbers. They do like to improve the number of reps they've done in a certain time. And at the end of the day, it's a measure of improvement. So I always find that a minimum for, let's say, the push-up is to have the upper arms going to a level which is about horizontal. My push-up stance is quite wide. I've always preferred it that way. I find it gets the chest more. I do vary it as well with a narrower stance as well for more triceps. But I've always done it this way, never had any repercussions. I think if you're used to a particular technique of training, once you get older, it's worth just sticking to that. Sometimes it's the change that actually can put a bit of strain on those areas. But anyway, I like to make sure that my upper arms are about horizontal, and that gets a tick in the box, that gets a pass for each push-up, for me, in my mind anyway. But on this particular occasion, I was doing 6 counts, 20 minutes worth, and I purposefully tried to go a bit deeper than normal, so really made sure my chest touched the ground so that my upper arms were going below the horizontal. Now, on this particular session, I actually felt pretty good, and I started out perhaps too quick, but I was making sure that my arms went below the horizontal. The easiest way to think that was to make sure my chest actually touched the floor, and you can see here the difference. That would be about horizontal there, so that would be a pass mark in my mind for a full push-up. Whereas then you go to this point here, which is below the horizontal, and it is amazing how much more difficult over a series of reps that little bit of extra depth made the session. I think once I got to about 70 or 80, I really started to slow down. But it's a great way to overload. It's not always about the numbers. Sometimes you can overload a session, do a couple of those, and then if you want to go for the higher reps or the actual numbers, then you can go down to the depth, which is a pass, but is more where your arms just go to the horizontal. And of course you can overload it further with, if you're holding onto 2 dumbbells, if 2 dumbbells are on the floor, that'll give you more height, and therefore you'll be able to go even lower if you want. But if you don't have that equipment, then quite a wide stance and then going chest to the floor just overloads that bit more. I'm not going to show the whole session here. I actually ended up doing 307, which I can't moan about, but when I approached the session, I thought, oh, I feel quite good here, and I started off quickly. But that extra depth in those early push-ups just burnt me out that bit more, and I sort of suffered in the latter parts of the session. It did help me though in a future session, which I'll post soon, where I did significantly better. Okay, so I've got a good session coming up next, which is for introducing people into these circuits, and if you're just starting out or more at a beginner level, with a variety of different exercises, not just burpees, but a full body exercise session. And it's always important to have those types of session in your back pocket, because you can do them anywhere and you don't need any equipment. Okay, hope this was of use. See you next one.